let's look at some examples here. So, the two main categories of websites that I want to build or want to explain is business websites and e-commerce websites. There's, infinite varieties of those, both of those under those topics. But we have some cool examples to show on screen here. So the first one is Northern Escape Heli-skiing. So this is neat. This is all about creating a wow experience. So when obviously people are looking for the ultimate vacation, they just want to be going, wow, look at this. This is so beautiful. I want to be here. It is
beautiful.
So, so there's a lot of photography. There's a lot of videos. It's very brochure-like in that sense. But because we're using this as a business tool, we have this cool little skier that follows you down and teaches you, what seasons and what sort of packages there are and where you're going to stay and stuff like that. And it's really doing a lot of work and going, wow, this is really, really nice place. I want to go here and I want to ski with these guys, right? So ultimately, this site is all about creating bookings. So, clicking on the book now and designing your experience and
calls
going,
to action.
Hey, I want to book a package. So calls to action, right? This site is responsible for being a travel agent effectively, right? So really important. Another cool site is Kimco here. Kimco is an HVAC company. So the neat thing about Kimco is they have different locations. So if you click on contact, and their old site did not give a good example of where they actually operated. People thought they were only in Kelowna. And they have Penticton, they have the Kootenays. So the service regions, they were very, very important. Also, a big part of the site was recruiting more or attracting more guys that want to work for them. And it was really neat because their careers page was, again, non-existent. So when we built this site, there was a big focus on let's grow the team. We wanted to show how cool of place that this was to work for. And that was a really big point of it as well. So, you can see they have 4 job postings right now. And they're getting a lot more inquiries than they used to.
Nice.
Right. So that's pretty neat. Another site here, Pool Patrol. So these guys sell automatic covers for swimming pools. One of the big things about Pool Patrol's website was demonstrating the product. Right. And it was really important for the site to start to inform and educate and go, wow, this is really, really cool. I want to demo the product instead of having like a really basic website that didn't really show how good this stuff is and didn't really prove that they were the leaders in their industry. And so you're kind of left to, scratching your head a little bit, right? Because you couldn't see all the different photos and installations and what people are talking about and any the happy customers that they have as well. So that sort of thing too, which is very actually similar to this janitorial website company. This is a commercial cleaning business in Ontario. And the big thing here was really just getting leads, making the phone ring, getting quote requests. But we had to really show that this company is one of the leaders in the Toronto area and GTA. And they can do all these different types of buildings and projects and jobs, and they have a lot of people that would refer and recommend them. So this was a big sales tool for Janny King of Southern Ontario. Another completely different industry would be high tech and digital, and very, very complicated. We're talking very, very complicated industries here. So, and very, very high ticket clients, so in this case, a client value would be in the hundreds of thousands, if not more. So we have a very complicated situation to explain, and the website's job is to simplify what was formerly very hard to understand, at least at first glance. Right. Getting your head wrapped around what do these guys do and can they help me? Yes, industrial automation, plant telematics, and giving case studies. You said before, Dennis, like how important case studies are to a company when you're trying to sell something.
Yes.
Right. This is really, really important for these guys. Bringing it back locally, we have one called FH&P Lawyers. The big thing about this particular website was showing the community-driven aspect of this law firm. So, a law firm is like another service like any other service company that's based in your locale, they have a very tight geography when they're a local service provider, right? They don't really care about ranking in another part of the country.
Yeah.
But they really, really want to stand out in their own backyard, right?
Because they do have competition.
They do. They have lots of competition.
Yeah.
So showing the community aspect was a really big job that this website had, right?
And it kind of differentiates them in
it does, and it represents their
marketplace.
brand. Their brand is, really important. I mean, they have even a whole site of their section dedicated to knowledge, like podcasts and stuff, but also community news. So they have their own podcast show. A lot of neat things about this law firm. So moving into kind of the e-commerce side of things, we want to show, there's this is where a website is literally like all the above that we previously discussed, but it's also got a big job of selling. So these sort of things have a catalog built into them. So, you're shopping for a snowboard. It's like, great, there's my snowboards. Sweet. I like the look of that one. That one's really cool. So you click into that, you see the cost, you see the availability, and information about this. So you can sign up and get on their newsletter, like that just popped up. So, they have a lot of the aspects of the informational sites and the business sites, but they have an additional job, which is to literally take people's money.
Yeah, you're not sending somebody to a salesperson in this case. They're actually looking to spend money on this website.
That's right. So you want to get out of their way. They want to buy something. Yeah. Your job site is to help them buy. Right.
Yes, and that purchase could take place at 10 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. Have you ever heard that saying? No one wants to be sold, but everyone wants to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to phrase an e-commerce website. You want it to be almost like a recreational activity in the first place. Like they love the site, the experience. They love all the photos and the cool customer reviews, and they see the pictures and they watch some videos and they're just pumped about it.
Yeah, it gives them an idea of what purchasing this product could make them feel like.
And then they buy and they get free shipping, and they everything's like sweet. They get a little discount for signing up on the newsletter or something like that, or first time order. So you're helping them buy something they really want. Yeah. And it's because the experience is so good, they're going to come back again. They're also maybe going to tell somebody.
Yes.
And then you have even more sales.
Absolutely.
So a garden center, is another one. Both Fresh Air and the greenery here that I'm showing on the screen are bricks and mortar stores. Like they actually have a physical location, but they have e-commerce as well. So it's almost both. They have salespeople. They have people that can help customer service if you visit them. But you can also buy things from online directly.
And I'm sure there's many customers that are shopping these sites and then going into the store to make their purchase as well. So
that's actually a really good point. Like doing research.
Yeah.
Right. And then they like what they see, and and then they want to go and buy something. So, the greenery actually has a feature that is that exactly, which is make a wish list. So you're kind of clicking around, creating a wish list, and then saving the wish list, and then bringing it in with you.
Nice.
They print it off or they have it on your phone, and then so then they can it's actually kind of neat.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So anyway, so you can basically create your shopping list effectively of plants,
nice.
And then bring it to the garden center, because you can't buy everything online. You can only buy certain things. So this is it's kind of a bit of a hybrid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it works really well.
You brought up the point that nobody wants to be sold, but they want to buy.
Yeah.
And it hurts my feelings being a salesperson that nobody really wants to talk to me, but these websites, when they're doing their job and when they're doing what they're meant to do, I don't know if you're familiar with the statistic that when it's doing its job and when it's doing what it's supposed to do, the if they do talk to a salesperson,
Mm-hmm.
if at a law firm, if they do call to book an appointment with a lawyer, or or if they choose to speak to somebody before they,
I don't know if you'd want to talk to a salesperson at a law firm,
no,
would you?
no. But if you want to talk
I know
to
what you mean, though.
if you want to talk to somebody before you book that dream
Yeah,
vacation and
yeah.
all of that kind of stuff, that statistically, what I understand is they are 60 after getting a good website experience and a good branding experience online, they're 60 to 70% of the way through the decision-making process. It's like if we were shopping for cars.
Yep.
We don't want to talk to a used car salesperson or a new car salesperson
Yep.
until we're like almost ready to buy.
Yep.
And that's what these websites also help with.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, it's a good point. I mean, and similar, this is an interesting take on what you just said. So bigger foods, this is online only. They don't have physical locations, and they sell snacks. So they're freeze dried, but it's local. It's fresh fruit.
And this is B2B, right? Or is
This,
this B2C?
this would be B2C. So
okay.
this is direct to consumer. So,
Okay.
this is built on a Shopify platform. We like Shopify a lot. We also like Squarespace, and we build with ModX for our, informational business websites. Those platforms are super powerful. WordPress is out there as well. A very popular platform, which our team is familiar with. So, but Shopify is designed for e-commerce. But the big difference between this particular site, Big Air Foods, is we are focused on the storytelling. The story is way out in front because it is the reason that you would want to buy their stuff. And you can buy snacks from everywhere. It doesn't literally there's 18 zillion places you can buy snacks from. But why would you choose an online source to buy your snacks when you can just go to any grocery store? These guys might be in grocery stores fairly soon, but right now, you'd want to, buy them online and try them out. So the story is hugely important, and that was a very, very big priority for for this sort of thing. So, yeah, it's a family-run business,
Nice.
and they have a big difference between themselves and other places.
I think with food more than anything, you want to know where it comes from, and so you want to know the people that are growing it, and this site does that.
Exactly. So yeah, so just kind of a few examples there, and I think there's something in there for everybody. Yeah. So one of the coolest things about these websites and the examples I've shown you is just how effective they are as being the salesperson that we keep bringing up and kind of, is becoming a broken record, I know, but they are very effective salespeople. So a lot of these websites that we've shown in this example in this podcast show, they are generating hundreds of thousands. They are generating millions of dollars per year in annual revenue. It's just very, very, or even sometimes, millions and millions of revenue. So, and that's where, again, don't get caught up in the initial cost and even the ongoing cost. Get caught up in what is the multiple going to be? What is the return on investment? Because these are business tools.
Yes.
Hire a really good salesperson.
Yeah.
Pay them well because they perform really well. That is the whole idea.
Yes.
And it's not an expense. So some quick stats, though, this is kind of change topics for a second, and some interesting stats about when you are going to build a website or upgrade your current site. There's some very important numbers you should be aware of.
Some KPIs?
Yeah, one of them is page speed. So what sort of stat do you have for us on page speed?
Yeah, it at a maximum it should load in 4 seconds.
Yeah, which is pretty fast. But then again, people have goldfish attention spans these days. I think a goldfish memory is only 3 seconds. So
okay,
the idea is that it's speedy.
Yes,
because people are super impatient and they
Busy.
need it. It's like they need it now.
Yeah.
So don't keep them waiting. So after 4 seconds, and I think it's probably even less these days, the drop off of people leaving your website before that's even had a finished loading is very high. So again, people's attention spans.
And you just brought up a good point. You think it's actually getting shorter.
I think so.
I think when
Yeah.
we start talking about the different types of demographics, users, target audiences that are out there. I mean, I'm a Gen Xer. I'm not. Are you
Yeah,
a
Gen Xer.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if we're talking, my kids are millennials,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're showing me websites, and they're going through them, and I'm just like, wait, back up. Show me that again, like, because
Oh, they go so fast.
they do,
Yeah.
and
Our kids are Gen Z, so they're even faster than the millennials.
yeah. So, what is their expectation going to be like if you're targeting those folks? And
Exactly.
so, a super fast website is.
Which leads us to the next stat of millennials and Gen Z and even the younger folks. As they come up into the buying population and they actually make a big dent in your demographics in terms of sales, we need to be thinking about their experience.
Yes.
And even if they're only teenagers right now, not for long, right? They'll be in the buying demographic soon enough.
Yes.
And they're on their phones.
Yes.
They're on their phones more than anything else and anybody else.
Yes.
So right now the stat globally is only around 40% of all website visits are looked at on their phone, but that stat's going to grow and grow and grow as well.
Yes.
As phones just become even more popular.
Yes.
They already are.
Yeah.
So
until we get like a contact lens or something like that,
yeah.
or the Google glasses, it never really took off.
Yeah.
But
you don't need that, of course, because you have an implant.
Yes. Well, I am AI.
Yeah, you are. Right? AI. Dennis is digital. I know you guys don't believe me, but and also the amount of website visitors that you get just by ranking in the top 10 positions for your products and services.
Yeah.
We've seen the increase. This is a really cool stat. Your website traffic, your visitors to it will double overnight. Double. The moment you get on the first bit of the screen, and this is true for anybody. If I'm going tire shop, and then you put in your city, the first bunch of results, bam, they're going to get all the people shopping for tires.
Yes.
If I Google my city and lawyers, right, I'm gonna, and then your law firm ranks in the top. Same idea.
Yeah.
So service products doesn't matter. Bicycle repair, HVAC, whatever. So it's they could be local searches, or they could be kind of national, brand shopping sort of searches. There's also different results that you can get. Some have images, some have prices if you can buy it online.
Yeah.
Others are more results. Others are in the map. There's different ways to do this, but the fact of the matter is when you land your company in those results, your website traffic will explode.
Yes.
And that just kind of goes back to the point of treating your website as a marathon. The whole experience.
And Google is still
advertising, web,
Yeah.
the whole bit. It wraps, and it's an ongoing thing. It never really ends.
Yeah.
Unless you want to flatline and kill your growth.
Yeah.
Then you can turn the taps off if you don't feel like it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't see that happening.
No. So that's kind of that's kind of our thoughts on website in the modern way of thinking of it as a cool business tool.
Yes.
So we're here. If you have any questions, give us a shout. And until next time, see you guys.